Hi everyone, welcome to GGN. This is the fourth part that I'm making for today. I still have another video. I'm not sure if I'll cover it, but I'll finish up with what I didn't finish in the last video. We're talking about AI and the future, how we're going to run out of resources and stuff. The U.S. is supposedly and basically heading into a newer type society that we've seen really in like futuristic sci-fi movies, where there's not really, I mean, there's a government, but there's maybe like a UN kind of privately run body that acts like it's democratic, you know, and basically corporations run everything. You see that a lot. It's a theme. So, U.S. government to deregulate meat industry. They're increasingly moving to prevent federal meat inspectors from exercising their authority at slaughter plants and instead allowing private industry to regulate itself, So it says that noting its deregulatory spirit, meat inspectors and industry watchdogs quickly dubbed it "have a cup of coffee and pray." So they intended to replace meat inspectors' old-fashioned poke and sniff method of visually examining carcasses with advanced microbiology techniques. But it also has an honor system where federal inspectors simply ratify companies' self-regulation. Instead of trained USDA inspectors, companies will police themselves, says activists. Chickens will spend more time soaking contaminants, and poultry plants are compensating by washing them in chlorine. With that said, this is from April of 2012, so almost 2 years ago. USDA to let industry self-inspect chicken. So this is all for, this was, for austerity and stuff. They hope to save $85 million over the next 3 years by laying off 1,000 government inspectors and turning over their duties to company monitors who will staff the poultry processing lines in plants across the country. Companies expect to save more than $250 million a year because they in turn will be allowed to speed up the processing line to a dizzying 175 birds per minute. So right now they move at 90. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, wow, 90. They're going to go to 175. Wow, so that's... the USDA poultry plant proposal could allow plants to speed up processing lines, stirring concerns for workers. Again, pretty much the same thing. Concern for workers, what about for people, man? Too, U.S. stores say no to genetically engineered salmon. Again, you've probably seen all this stuff, but Kroger and Safeway announced that they're not selling genetically engineered salmon. They joined other chains, including Target, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's. So, Russia, this is from 2014, February. Russia resumed supplies of Brazilian pork. It goes on here and it says that they were limited. The pork was limited due to the manufacturer's use of the animal's muscle growth promoter ractopamine in March of this year. It basically limited meat from Brazil, Canada, and Mexico to Russia. Russia and China have both banned ractopamine in beef, deeming it unfit for human consumption. 27 other countries, including Japan, South Korea, Mexico, Taiwan, Canada, and the U.S., have determined the meat from animals fed ractopamine is safe for human consumption. So, and it says here that it's not allowed in the European Union. Last two articles I have for you for this video. Some European nations are installing raw milk vending machines. I was kind of surprised by this, but it says don't expect this in America anytime soon. It says that the feds aren't very keen on raw milk, which they consider a health hazard. The writer says that I don't drink milk at all. They're lactose intolerant, but compared with pasteurized and homogenized dairy, the news source argues that raw milk offers a wealth of nutrition, all without the drawbacks of oxidized fats, denatured proteins, antibiotics, or growth hormones typically found in regular processed pasteurized milks. It says that the purported benefits of raw milk, multiple European nations have installed self-service vending machines that provide 24-hour access. One individual who helped introduce the machines in France, the UK, and Spain hopes to expand the venture into a similar vending machine for raw yogurt. Other countries like Italy, Slovenia, Austria, Switzerland, and the Netherlands have begun to install their own raw milk vending machines as well. However, the U.S. FDA tells a different story. So they care about raw milk, but they don't care about ractopamine. Easier raw milk sales could double illness outbreaks in Maryland. staffing and lab costs will increase. Maryland's Department of Legislative Services says that making raw milk sales legal through individual cow share or herd share schemes could increase the sporadic or isolated cases of illnesses from unpasteurized milk from almost none today to 100 to 65 per year. So, independent fiscal and policy analysis of House Bill 3, which was probably funded by the dairy industry, predicts a raw milk-borne outbreak in the state would double, reaching 2 to 4 per year. So a lot of scare tactics, right? Maryland is the second state bordering raw milk exporting Pennsylvania to be considered a cow or herd share bill during the current legislative session. And that's all I have for you for this video. This was from February 19th, 2014. My website is ggnonline.net, and on YouTube it's just tdarko2013. So thank you for joining me.